today. It was like, oh, sorry, when you make yam, this is on that we've been cooking yam for almost 6 years as a couple, as a married couple. And it comes today, this morning, and it was like, oh, babe, next time when you're making yam, can you please cut it from the head? So, you want to have a happy home? You want to have a happy marriage? What are those things that I believe are crucial towards having a happy home? I've been married for a little over 5 years, well, a lot over 5 years, you know, itching towards 6 years now. So it's been a minute, not a long time, but it's been a minute. And we have a child as well. And there are things that I've put in place. There are things that have worked for us, for me, in our home that I enjoy. And I think these are things that should be in place if you want to have a happy home. Okay, so I think you can benefit from these things and just try some of them if you don't already. If you're married, then in the comment section, let me know the things that you do to ensure that you have a happy home. Okay, let's talk. If you want to have a happy marriage and a happy home, do not ever compare your marriage to another marriage. Do not compare your home to another home. No two homes are the same. Just as no two individuals are the same, not just as no two wives, no two husbands are the same. Every home is different. Every home is unique. Every home is peculiar. Do you get what I'm saying? What other word can I use? Every home is different. It just looks like it. But the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And remember, comparison is the theft of joy. Do not compare. Do not compare your husband to another husband. Whilst arguing with your husband or arguing with your wife, do not compare your spouse to another spouse. In your mind, in your thoughts, do not compare your home. You will always find something missing. If you do that, you will always find something missing, but it shouldn't be. One of the best ways to avoid comparison is for you not to put yourself in a situation where you will subconsciously start to compare. I remember after we got married, just after my now husband proposed, I needed to learn so much about wedding planning and Ashwebi and all of that. So I followed all these wedding pages on Instagram, just trying to learn so much about what to prepare for, what to do, And I remember after we got married, after our wedding and everything and honeymoon, and we're settled into the marriage, or we're settling into our marriage, one of the things I did was to unfollow all those pages. I unfollowed them because I realized that I was watching other people's wedding and I was saying, yeah. And I was like, why? There's no point. There's no point. If something is going to negatively affect your mind, then don't put yourself in the position where you are feeding those thoughts anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? So do not compare your home to another home. Number 2. Always be honest with yourself and with your spouse as well. If you cannot do it, then you cannot do it. Don't force yourself. Speak, communicate. For instance, this morning, my husband, late last night, was it early this morning? Or no, it was late last night. So it was like, can we eat akara this morning for breakfast? And I was like, oh, babe, I'm sorry. Today is going to be my content creation day. So it's going to be like so busy for me, like from morning. It's just, I'm going to be at it, so I won't be able to make akara today, but I can make it the next day. And it was like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Everybody is happy. Today he had yam and egg. It's fine because akara takes more time to make. Do you get what I'm saying? Communicate. Be honest with yourself. I cannot do laundry today. I cannot do laundry today. I cannot go to the market today. I cannot go to the market today. What happens when you're not honest with yourself or honest with your spouse is that you start to put yourself in a situation where you don't want to be, and then you start to become disgruntled, and then you're grumbling, and then you're unhappy. Don't leave things unsaid. If it's weighing on your mind, if it's heavy on your mind, if it's something you really want to talk about, then you should talk about it. Find the time, the best way, the best time to bring up the conversation. Not argument, not fight, but conversation, talk. Bring up the conversation and have a conversation about it. Talk about it. Do you get what I'm saying? And your timing too has to, make sense. Maybe he just got home tired, or she just got home tired and they're exhausted from taking care of the baby all day, and then you now want to argue about something, or you want to converse about something that can wait till the next day. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you might realize that by the time you decide to wait till the next day anyway, by the next day you realize it's not even that important. When I was sick, I told my husband to please make noodles for me. He made noodles for me. When he brought the noodles, he had broken the noodles. I had cut the noodles and broken it, and it looked so short and unattractive. I didn't like it. I don't break my spaghetti. I don't break my noodles, But guess what? Did I say anything? No. I kept quiet and I ate it, saying, you know what? I'm going to say it tomorrow. Why? Because in that moment, if I had said, why did you? Because I would have seemed ungrateful. It served me. It made food for me because I wasn't feeling well, and it served me. And it took the time to make the food, and it was taking care of our baby. He was obviously tired. That wasn't the time for me to complain again. I would look as if I'm an ingrate. Do you understand? That's a conversation you bring up jokingly at a later time. Timing is very important, even if you do have to say something. And that's going to lead me into tip number 4, which is you don't have to say everything. I know I just said don't leave things unsaid, but at the same time, you also want to hold back, because it's not everything that requires a conversation. You don't want to seem as if you're constantly nagging. Do you understand? So in your head, you ask yourself, how important is it? Oh, he always leaves his towel on the floor. Is he going to be leaving his towel on the floor for the rest of our marriage? If so, is that going to be, this is a conversation you're having with yourself. If so, is that going to be a headache for me? Okay, that means I need to have a conversation with him about it. Is that going to be a headache for me? Oh, not so much. I can just pick it up. Okay, I'm not going to make it an issue. If he drops it, I'm just going to pick it up, and then love will continue. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not everything that requires a conversation, that requires you to talk. There are things that you can just weigh the importance. And that's going to lead me to tip number 5, which is you need to pick your battles. You cannot argue about everything. Listen, you people, we grew up in different homes, okay? There are times my husband will say something, and I'll just say, okay. Because, it's fine. Do you get what I'm saying? Because having a conversation about it, I'm not in the mood. Having a conversation about it is not going to change that. It's not going to change anything anyway. Plus, that thing is not even that important to me. Oh, today, it was like, sorry, when you make yam, this is on that we've been cooking yam for almost 6 years as a couple, as a married couple. And it comes today, this morning, and was like, oh, babe, next time when you're making yam, can you please cut it from the head? I was just like, okay. I just said, okay, oh yeah, sure, okay, no problem. In my mind, I was just say, why? Why can't you just, but I needed to work, I'm trying to keep things moving, and it's not important where I cut the yam. I cut it from the middle, I cut it from the head, if cutting it from the bottom is going to make him happy, I'm going to cut it from the bottom. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I don't care where I cut it from. So I'm not going to make it an issue. Do you get what I'm saying? So you need to pick your battles. It's not everything that requires an argument. It's not everything that requires a fight. It's not everything that requires a discussion. It's not everything that should be questioned. Number 6, ensure that you have your source of happiness outside of your spouse. Ensure that your happiness is not dependent on your spouse, okay? You find things that you do, that make you happy in addition to your spouse. Your spouse should not be the beginning and end of your happiness. Your joy should ordinarily be found in Christ Jesus. That should be the source of your joy on a daily. But things that make you happy on a daily, if you have kids, your kids. If you have a job, your job. Maybe it's homemaking. Maybe it's ensuring that your home is always clean and organized and aesthetic and beautiful. Or maybe it's content creation. Find your own safe space. Maybe it's spending time with your friends, or going out to eat or something. Just whatever it is, ensure that you have your own safe zone, your own core of happiness outside of your spouse. Number 7, in order to ensure a happy home, don't find it difficult to serve, and don't find it difficult to be served. Serve your husband, serve your wife. Do you get what I'm saying? Serve, make yourself available to your spouse. That's a big contributor to having a happy home. There's nothing, you're supposed to serve one another, Husband, serve your wife. Wife, serve your husband. Just both of you love on each other. And wives, especially mothers, allow yourself to be served. The days that my husband will offer to give our son his bath, and I'm like, oh yes, please, thank you. Before, I used to say, no, don't worry, I wanted to do it myself. No, don't worry, I can handle it myself. But along the line, I understood that one, no be only me waka come, is the father of this child, Allow him to be the father of the child. Do you get what I'm saying? And number 2, it's okay for you to need rest and to be served and to take a break. It doesn't make you a bad mom for you to say, oh, baby is crying. Daddy, please go and carry your baby. Let mommy too sleep. Do you get what I'm saying? So allow yourself to be served, because then you understand that you're happier. You've had time to rest or to do other things that you need to do, and you're happy, and your spirit is not disgruntled, and you're not grumbling. And those are the things, the seemingly little things that sucks away the happiness in a home. Number 8 is that you should not give room for third parties in your home. I cannot say it enough. I cannot emphasize it enough. I cannot tell you how important it is for you to ensure that the triangle in your marriage remains a triangle, okay? God at the hem of it, you and your spouse. That's it. It's a triangle. See, 1, 2, and 3. It's a triangle with God at the hem of it. There is no room for anyone else. Not your kids, not your parents, not your siblings, no. The marriage is a triangle. Figure it out between the two of you. To just figure it out. Now, the exceptions will be life-threatening situations, abuse, and all of those things. You definitely want to speak to someone, and you definitely want to seek help outside of that marriage. But I'm talking about, petty disagreements here and there. You're annoyed today, you're frustrated tomorrow. Just little things that have nothing to do with the core, the foundation of your home. Keep it in a triangle. Take it to God. The heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, right? So take it to God, or talk to your spouse about it. Don't give room to social media in your marriage. Don't give room to third parties in your marriage. Number 9, and number 9 is extremely crucial. You have to constantly walk in agreement with your spouse. Do you understand? You guys have chosen to do life together as one. That means that no matter what it is, find a landing spot. Some sort of compromise might have to happen now and then, but whatever conclusion you get to should always be in agreement. So you're speaking with one voice. So you're walking as one. So that if your husband runs into one person and says something, and you run into that same person and say something, you guys are saying the same thing even when you're not together, because you are in agreement. So that is very crucial for a happy home. Can two work together unless they agree. And last but definitely not the least is prayer. See, you cannot remove the place of prayer. You cannot remove the place of God. I just told you that God is at the center of marriage, is at the hem of it, is at the top of it, in fact. Do you get what I'm saying? So you cannot take out God or take out praying. You know, pray for your home. There is nothing embarrassing about praying for your home. There is nothing embarrassing about praying for your marriage. There is nothing embarrassing about praying for your spouse. Pray for your home. What do you think? What are the things that you do that ensures you have a happy home? Let me know in the comment section. Or what are those things that you would recommend to up and coming couples? Okay, let's talk in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. I can't wait to see you again very, very soon. I pray God blesses you, your homes, your marriages, your relationships. Most importantly, I pray God blesses you. Remain in God and God bless you.